My name is Samantha Hayes. I'm 27 years old. For as long as I can remember, my life has revolved around keeping my family's image intact. Christmas, birthdays, graduations, even random Tuesday dinners, it was important to them. It became my responsibility. It all started when I was 12. My father, a surgeon, worked long hours. My mother, Vanessa, hosted events that looked flawless on social media but relied on me to pull everything together behind the scenes. "You have a good heart, Sam," she'd say, "but don't let anyone see you sweat." That phrase became my mantra. Invisible effort equals love. By the time I turned 20, I realized I wasn't part of the celebration. I was the engine behind it. My cousins, my aunts and uncles, even friends of the family, always assumed I was there to serve. I booked the caterers, coordinated seating, handled RSVPs, bought the gifts, wrapped them perfectly, and stayed late cleaning up. My mother took all the photos, received the praise, smiled effortlessly. I existed only when someone needed me. The breaking point came last Christmas. I had just moved to Chicago for my first managerial role in an event planning firm. I was exhausted, emotionally drained, but I still planned the annual Hayes family Christmas because no one else would. My mother, sensing I was stretched thin, said softly during a phone call, "This year, you don't need to come. We'll manage without you." I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I just hung up the phone, a strange calm settling in my chest. For the first time in 15 years, I realized I wasn't needed to make their holidays perfect. I was only needed when it suited them. The week leading up to Christmas, I did nothing. I ignored the group chat, didn't answer the calls. My mother's usual frantic instructions, pick up Aunt Clara, grab extra candles, check the table settings, fell on deaf ears. For the first time, I let it all fall apart. The night before Christmas, I watched photos stream online. The table was crooked, the candles half lit, the roast slightly burnt. Comments from cousins and friends started, "Where's Samantha? Everything's a mess." I didn't feel guilty. Not really. I felt free. That morning, I woke up in my apartment, sunlight streaming over the city. I made coffee, put on music I actually liked, and started wrapping presents I had bought for myself. Later, my phone buzzed. My brother Ryan texted, "Mom is losing it." "What did you do?" I replied simply, "I stopped doing it all alone." By noon, my mother called, voice tight but polite. "Samantha, the decorations, the gifts. This isn't how it's supposed to be." "I know," I said. "And it's fine, really." For the first time, I didn't feel like a helper, a fixer, a shadow in my own family. I felt visible. I felt in control. I didn't need their approval. I didn't need their thanks. I just needed to stop disappearing. That Christmas, my family learned what it felt like when the one who carried everything finally let go. It wasn't chaos. It was quiet, uncomfortable, eye-opening. And for me, it was the first Christmas I ever owned. After that Christmas, I didn't go back to being invisible. I started small. I told my mother I'd no longer organize her events, no longer cover expenses, no longer serve as the unpaid manager of her flawless facade. She tried guilt first. "Samantha, it's tradition," she said over the phone. "You can't just abandon it." "I'm not abandoning anything," I replied calmly. "I'm finally taking my life back." Her voice tightened. "You're being selfish. Think of the family." I laughed softly, something I hadn't done in years. "Selfish? I've spent my whole life being invisible for your comfort. You want to talk selfish? Try using someone's entire adulthood as your unpaid assistant. I've earned my own life now." I hung up before she could respond. The days after that Christmas were strange. My cousins asked why I hadn't shown up. My aunts tried subtle digs through messages, and my brother Ryan kept asking if I was sure about this. I didn't answer anyone. I let the silence do the work. By January, I had signed a lease on a new apartment, moved in, and started to rebuild my finances. I opened a new savings account, invested in my career, and bought things for myself for the first time without explanation or apology. Work became my sanctuary. I managed corporate events, client galas, and charity dinners, but this time I wasn't invisible. I was respected, appreciated, and paid. I didn't have to fight for acknowledgement. It came automatically, because I had the skill, the talent, and the confidence to demand it. One evening in February, my mother called again. "Samantha, we need to talk about the summer trip." "Family tradition, I'm not part of it," I interrupted. "I have my own plans. You can manage without me. You finally know what it feels like." Her voice cracked, though she tried to hide it. "You're so different now. I'm finally me, I said. Months passed. I received invitations, occasionally birthdays, small family events, but I chose carefully. I no longer said yes out of obligation. When I went, I participated, not served. People noticed. Cousins, uncles, aunts, they realized I had boundaries. And with those boundaries came respect. By summer, I was thriving. My career was growing. I hosted friends in my apartment. I traveled, explored hobbies, and invested in myself. The holidays approached again, and I felt no anxiety, no obligation. I made my own plan for Christmas, simple, peaceful, joyful. My mother texted on December 15th, "We miss you. Can you come?" I stared at the message for a long time. My answer wasn't a yes or no. It was a thought, a feeling, a statement. I miss you too, but I don't need you to approve my life anymore. I sent her a different message. I'll be celebrating at my place. Hope your holiday is wonderful. No guilt, no fear, just calm. That year, I cooked my first full Christmas dinner for myself and a few close friends. The tree was modest. The table was cozy. The wine was real. The music was exactly what I wanted. And as I looked around at the laughter, the warmth, and the quiet joy, I realized, this wasn't rebellion. This was freedom. I wasn't abandoning my family. I was reclaiming myself. And for the first time in my life, being Samantha Hayes meant more than being invisible Samantha, the girl who made everyone else look perfect. I didn't need their approval, their thanks, or their praise. I needed only to stop disappearing, and in doing that, I finally appeared. That Christmas, I learned a lesson no one could teach me. Love doesn't require erasing yourself. Respect doesn't require hiding. And freedom doesn't require anyone's permission.